All right. Good morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. What we're going to talk about today are equivalent fractions. We're going to do a real quick firm up of what we did Tuesday and what we did Monday. Fractions on a number line, plotting those fractions on a number line, and also we're going to make sure that we can identify the fraction on the number line. And then we'll go into our equivalent fractions today, okay? All right, so let's do it real quick. If I draw my fraction on a number line, by now we should know we have a starting point and an ending point. We start with 0 and we end with 1. And we end with 1, okay? I want to put the fraction 1/3 on my number line. If I plot the fraction 1/3, my bottom number tells me, at first it's the denominator, practice saying that vocabulary, that I need 3 parts. I need 3 parts below the number line. So if I need 3 parts below the number line, then I need to draw how many lines? 2. That's right, we've got that. By now we're going to be moving quick on that part, okay? So I have to make sure that when I partition my number line, that I give it 3 equal parts. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 lines. You kind of bear with me on my pen. It's a little out of, I guess, or it's not oriented very well. All right, and remember the top number tells me how many to shade, and I shade it on top of the number line. So I need to have 1 part shaded on the top. A lot of you, when you were completing your whole group and your seat work, I saw a lot of this. You put your dots here. You checked for 3 parts, and then you did 1 shaded. You shaded on the top. Now remember, this visually shows me 1/3. I want to plot 1/3 on that fraction number line. So I'm going to change colors. And I will put a big dot right here. This dot is going to represent 1/3. So underneath it, I would write 1/3, and then I'm going to circle it to show that that is 1/3 on my fraction number line. Okay, boys and girls? All right, now, let's go ahead. Kind of had to, they fixed our board, boys and girls, but not all the way. So we're going to make it work with what we got, okay? All right, next, I want to see if I put a dot on the fraction number line. If I plot it, can you identify it, okay? So I'm going to draw my fraction number line. I've got 0 and 1. 0 and 1, all right? Watch, because by now you should be able to understand the parts, the numerator, and the denominator. Woo. All right, guys, let's do a quick firm up from yesterday's lesson, okay? I want to identify this fraction on my number line. So I'm going to count my points at the bottom. Remember, the bottom number is called the denominator. So when you identify the denominator, you have to make sure that you look below the number line and you count how many equal parts. Remember, denominator tells you how many parts are in all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I know I'm working with 6. So I'm going to come on here. I'm going to draw my line at the bottom because I know a fraction has a top and a bottom number. And I'm going to draw a 6 on the bottom. All right, now, I need to find my top number, which is the numerator. So I'm going to go above the number line, and I'm going to start shading at 0. And I'm going to shade until I get to the dot. So let me change my colors. So I've shaded 1 section. I haven't gotten to the dot yet, so I need to keep shading some more. So now I've got 2 parts shaded. So my numerator is 2. So I'm going to come down here and write on top of the line. So this fraction, boys and girls, is called 2/6. What's it called? 2/6. That's right. Way to emphasize that TH on the end of 6. And so I kind of didn't label it underneath it. But I'm going to draw it 2/6. I plotted on my number line, and then I labeled it, okay? All right, now let's get into, let's see if it'll give it a minute. Well, guys, there it goes. Now let's go ahead and get into some equivalent fractions. Can I take what I just learned, can I take what I've just learned, put them on some fraction number lines, but by now I want to go ahead and up that rigor a little bit. I want you to be recognizing some denominators and some numerators that you know will go ahead and line up together, okay? So today's lesson is building on yesterday. So if you didn't watch yesterday's videos, go back and watch them so you'll have a good foundation for today, okay? So in today's lesson, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we're going to need to draw two number lines. So I want you to work with me because you know I like to do a lot together. So pause the video, go get you some paper and pencil, okay? All right, y'all got your paper and pencil? Fabulous job. Remember, boys and girls, real quick, what are your starting points and your ending points? 0 and 1. That's right. All number lines start at 0 and all number lines end in 1. End in 1, okay? When we talk about equivalent fractions, boys and girls, these are fractions that not only line up together on the number line, but they also have different numbers. We're going to look at them in two different ways today. We're going to do a quick firm up. We started it yesterday. We're going to finish it today. Equivalent fractions on the number line. But then also we're going to look at equivalent fractions on a diagram. Circles or rectangles. Okay, so today's lesson is going to be a little bit on number lines and then a little bit on shapes. All right, I want to see on the top number line, I want to see 6. We just did it a minute ago. So if I need to see 6 parts, how many lines will I draw? 5. That's right. But let's up the rigor a little bit. If I'm in 6, think back to that spider web. Think back to that spider web. All of those benchmark fractions. Those benchmark fractions. Remember that was Monday's discussion questions? If I'm in 6, was there a benchmark fraction that ended in 6? Think about it. All right, let me see if I can start it and you finish it. You ready? We had 1/2. We had 2/4. What do you think came next? 3/6. That's right. That's right. So if you see that we're going to work with 6, already I want my brain to be going in fast motion and go, oh, already know some 6. 3/6. That's a benchmark fraction, Miss Precise. That's going to go right in the middle. So on that top line, boys and girls, we can go ahead and put a fraction in the middle. And we know that's going to be 3/6. What's that going to be? That's right. And those are benchmark fractions. Say it real loud. Benchmark fractions. That's right. Those fractions are always in the middle of your number line. So let's go ahead and do 3/6. So now, if we've memorized that, we can take our rigor up a little bit. We can make it a little bit harder, but that's because we're smarter. If 3/6 goes here, what 2 fractions went in front of it? 3/6, well, had to have been 2/6. Look how I partitioned it, though. What do you think came before 2/6? 1/6. That's right. Good job, guys. So now you can even pull a little kindergarten and first grade in. I mean, we are going all over the place, boys and girls. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds. I want you to finish that number line. I miss y'all. I hope y'all know I miss y'all. I hate talking to a video, but I hope y'all know I miss you. Okay, what comes after 3/6? 4/6. Let me hear you. I can't hear you. What comes next? 5/6. Woo, check out that one. You had to work with me. Guys, where do you think 6/6 goes? Under one whole. That's right. Remember from my video, when the numerator and the denominator are the same. Kind of do that with me. Stick your thumb up and stick your pinky down. And then kind of like gnarly dude, you just kind of flip it over. That means that it goes under one whole. So we're going to practice today labeling one whole as the same as 6/6. Okay? All fractions have to start as a whole. So that means if I have 6 parts and I shaded 6 of them, that would be 1 whole, okay? All right, let's go ahead and work on the bottom one. I'm going to change my colors. On the bottom fraction line, boys and girls, I want to work with fourths. I want to work with fourths. So give you a couple seconds to think about it. All right, go back to that spider web. Go back to those benchmark fractions. Was there a fraction that ended in fourths? Some of you, I hear you, that's right. All right, I'm going to see if I can start it. 1/2, 2/4. Good. Oh, guys, that's so exciting that you're getting it. 2/4. Now, remember, where do benchmark fractions go? They always go in the what? In the middle. Say it real loud. In the middle. That's right. So if I'm in fourths, I can go ahead and put 2/4 right in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the middle, and I'm going to label it 2/4. 2/4. Good, guys. So by now, you can already say, well, Miss Precise, before 2/4 had to have been what? 1/4. That's right. 1/4. So I've got 1/4, 2/4. What would come next, guys? 3/4. Now let me ask you something. Where would 4/4 go? Because that is a fraction, but where would it go? Under 1 whole. That's right. 4/4 is the same as 1 whole. 1 whole. Awesome job, boys and girls. All right, let's look. Now, can we find any fractions that are equivalent? Remember, on the fraction number line, they will be equivalent if you can circle them. If you can circle a fraction from the top number line to the bottom number line, and they will be in line. Let's see. Can we circle any? I think we can. I'm going to give you 3 seconds. All right, tell me what you see. I need to hear you. I hear 3/6, and I hear 2/4. Absolutely correct. If I circle these fractions, they are equivalent. They are equivalent. Now, boys and girls, what we're going to look at next is how to write that equation, because that is an equation. Do you remember Miss Precise's favorite activity is the alligator mouth? Right before we got out of school, we talked about an alligator always wants to eat the bigger number. Well, equivalent fractions, look at that base word, equal, or that prefix, equal, equivalent. That's another word that means equal. They are the same. So, what I want you to do now is take your pencil. Let's see if, there it comes. And we're going to write that equation. We're going to write that equation, okay? All right. Let's write. We had the fraction 3/6, and we had the fraction 2/4. So what this, boys and girls, is this is almost like comparing them a little bit, but we're just saying that they're equal. So we're going to put a big old equal sign in that circle, and we read that as 3/6 is equal to 2/4. You can also read it backwards. Remember, I would call you out in class? 2/4 is equal to 3/6. Excellent job, boys and girls. All right, next, our next video, still part of our Tier 1, is going to be looking at equivalent fractions on a diagram. So go get you 2 pieces of paper and 2 crayons before you start the next video, okay? Oh, I didn't pause it. Sorry.